Hi, I'm Charles with AniCap. The story begins as a man and woman are on a date. The two prepare to toss themselves into a powerful river, and they tie themselves to each other so they can be together forever. However, in a cruel twist of fate, the evil truck-kun comes out of nowhere to drive through the forest and take them both out. Moments later, our protagonist Daze wakes up and is shocked to see what heaven looks like. A woman explains that this is not heaven, and she is a guide to those that descend upon this world. Her name is Annette, and she reveals that Daze was chosen and transported to this new world. A fearsome dragon flies by as Annette explains that this world is shrouded in darkness, and Daze was chosen to be a hero who brings light to this world. Daze doesn't think of himself as a hero at all though. He was just some guy trying to commit double unalive with his girlfriend, and has now been brought to a strange world. Annette prepares to give him an inspiring speech to make him want to become a hero, but she is shocked when Daze does his thing and overdoses on some sedation pills. Annette purifies the toxins from his body, but Daze says that she's actually bothering him. Annette demands for Daze to become a hero to fulfill his great mission of saving this world, but Daze is just looking for a place to stop living. Daze keeps chowing down on his pills, but Annette reminds him that he is the chosen one. Daze points out that he never decided to be chosen, but Annette explains that Truck-kun is actually an otherworld selection truck. Among the many people in Daze's old world living unhappy lives, only those struck by otherworld Truck-kun get to redo their lives in this world. This is actually a world transfer service that her world provides. Being hit by Truck-kun means that he was unhappy with his life, so he was granted a chance in this world. Daze finishes up taking some more pills, and he angrily points out that the stupid truck interfered with the happiest moment of his life, his double unalive. He points out that they don't have the right to decide who's unhappy, but from her point of view, he was saved from a life so unhappy that he was going to end it all. Ultimately, Annette decides that his complaining doesn't matter because Daze will surely change his mind when he sees his stats. Without exception, every human brought to her world is granted the ability to wield superhuman powers. However, she is shocked to find that Daze is insanely weak. Not only does he only have one hit point, he is also poisoned even after she detoxified him. Annette refuses to believe that someone could be this weak, so she desperately searches to see if Daze has some kind of special skill or exceptional ability. She is horrified to find that he has absolutely nothing, and she has never seen such a weak otherworlder. The very sick-looking Daze goes to leave, but Annette stops him and finally agrees that he must have been brought to this world by mistake. She determines that he won't be able to survive in this world, and she is shocked when Daze finally shows some confidence, and he declares that what she just said sounds a lot more like what his life is really about. Daze explains that he is branded a failure no matter what world he lives in. Annette apologizes once again for the mistake and asks him to stay with her for a while. This world is incredibly dangerous and filled with monsters, so his life will surely end the second he steps outside. She is stunned though when Daze tells her not to worry because he's looking for his final resting place anyway. The reason why Annette is so shocked is because Daze is very different than all the others. Annette used to take pride in guiding otherworlders, and meeting them excited her. However, she started to realize how pretentious and arrogant they were. Soon she felt like her job was simply to flatter heroes over and over again, so she closed off her heart. However, her life has been turned upside down as Daze is totally different. Daze prepares to enter the dangerous new world, but Annette begs him to at least pick a profession first. Daze declares that he doesn't need to pick a profession because he's a born writer, and he says goodbye to the girl that he says has beautiful ears. As he leaves, Annette dramatically declares that she finally understands. The thing she has been waiting for was for this man to enter her life. Outside, Daze realizes that he can't read the writing in this world, but he can tell that there won't be any cafes for him to go to. Just then, a voice pops into his head and announces that Daze has earned 5 experience points for discovering a new area. Daze wishes the voice would stop as he suffers from migraines, but an even louder voice announces that Daze has risen to level 2. Just then, a tree collapses and a girl screams as she is attacked by a monster. She begs Daze to help her because he's an adventurer, but Daze just stares at her and thinks about how a lot of people have weirdly shaped ears in this world. She keeps begging for his help, but Daze just asks for her permission to write a novel about her. Daze eventually realizes that she wants him to save her, so he tells her to give him a moment. Daze makes a half-hearted attempt to reach out to her, but ultimately declares that he can't reach her. She asks him to use a sword or a spell or something, but the monster just ends up taking a hold of Daze as well. Daze simply says that he can't breathe, and the girl explains that the tree is stealing their life force. They only have a few more minutes before their lives end, but she is shocked when Daze says that that's good news. Daze finds delight in his final moments and says goodbye to the world. The girl begs him not to give up, but Daze is completely unresponsive. She is stunned that her life will end in such a strange way, but she is even more surprised when the tree is covered in darkness and it explodes. Daze is shockingly still alive, much to his disappointment, and the voice announces that Daze inflicted 300 damage with his poison. The girl is absolutely stunned as this great adventurer before her eliminated the monster by making it absorb his poison instead of his life force. Daze rises to level 3, and the girl wonders if he poisons himself. She then wonders why he pretends to be weak when he is pretty strong, but he explains that this just always happens to him. He wants to stop existing, but somehow he ends up surviving. He has tried to stop living 5 times, but it has never gone right once. The girl has no clue why he's so depressed, but she is grateful that he saved her life, so she thanks him. She offers to take him to her place to rest, and he introduces himself. When Daze touches her hand though, he is reminded of his girlfriend Sachan, and he wonders if she came to this world too. The girl then angrily tells him that her name isn't Sachan. She tries to tell him her real name, but Daze's already in the clouds thinking about Sachan. The girl gets frustrated as he ignores her, but he has a good reason. Daze has just found a reason to live in this new world. He goes over his last memory with his girlfriend and declares that he will find Sachan wherever she is in this world. His declaration isn't exactly what it seems, as he wants to find her so they can commit double unalive again. Back with Annette, she prays to the god of her world so that Daze can be protected. She also wishes to meet him again one day, and she gets her wish as Daze returns. She couldn't be happier to see him, but she is stunned when his new cat girlfriend is there too. Annette can't believe that he already has a girl companion, but she composes herself as Daze has a question. He wants to know if Annette has met a girl named Sachan, and Annette is horrified to hear that a third woman is involved. Daze leaves as Annette had no information about Sachan, but the cat girl assures him that he will find her. She wants to stop by the castle town of Roth before going to her house, but she is shocked when Annette appears to stop her from holding hands with Daze. Annette thinks it's shameless behavior, but the cat just wants to know why Annette came with them. Annette is too shy to answer, so the cat realizes that she must be in love with Daze. Of course, Annette denies it and simply declares that it's her job to protect the weak otherworlder. Him being an otherworlder makes the cat realize that that is why Daze is so strong, but Annette points out that he's actually really weak. The two argue about how weak he is, but the cat reveals that Daze defeated a monster and saved her life. Annette is horrified because saving her life means that they have gotten close, and she angrily calls the girl a thieving cat. Just then, Daze announces that he found something wonderful. He calls it a very comfortable bed, but it's actually a coffin, and he tells the girls to wake him up when they arrive at the town. Daze says goodnight to Annette and Tama, but the cat angrily points out that that isn't her name. Daze is already fast asleep though, and Annette sheepishly points out that Daze called her the right name. Annette then takes on the task of dragging Daze in his coffin, but Tama wonders if that's really her job as a clergy person. Thanks for watching my recap. Subscribe to the channel to help us make the push to 700,000 subscribers.